All right, here it is. Moment of truth.
But
Moment of truth.
it's a game that has driven you to one of your own deepest fears, Joshua. Isolation. It's terrible. Isolation. And I hope for your sake, Joshua, that you can find redemption.
Yes! We need to talk about Josh. Oh my god, finally! Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Eddie and we're back at it again with Until Dawn. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to get the new Josh ending, which is the We Need to Talk About Josh achievement, or as I like to personally call it, the better ending for Josh, because let's face it, in the original, he did not deserve that ending. He deserved so much better, and I'm so glad that he gets a new ending in this remake. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? And here we go. New game. So before we begin, I'd like to inform you that in order to get this achievement, you will have to start a brand new game instead of selecting chapters after completing it. Also, I played this game with the intention of keeping everyone alive, so if you managed to get the Josh ending after losing a few characters, feel free to leave a comment on how you did that, as there are many possibilities to finish this game. So with that said, I'm only going to show you the important sequences I believe unlock this ending along with Dr. Hill's therapy sessions. Now personally, I don't believe any choices you make during Dr. Hill's scenes impact the entire story except for one, which is the most important that we will get to in a moment. So let's start off with the prologue. First choice I made after looking at the photo was It Makes Me Happy. My second choice was The Sunshine. Then It Scares Me. And finally, Everyone Fears It. Moving on to the end of chapter 1, where we select things that give us anxiety, my first choice was Women Worry Me. Next page, I chose Crowds Scare Me. Then I Fear Drowning. Snakes Scare Me. Knives Are Scary. Snakes Scare Me Again. I Fear Scarecrows. Gore Disgusts Me. Snakes Scare Me once again. Gore Disgusts Me. I Fear Scarecrows. I Fear Dogs. And finally, I Fear Dogs Again. Now at the end of chapter 2, which is very short, I selected these three answers. Yes, I do. Then, I value honesty. And finally, I value charity. Alright, bear with me for chapter 3. The people I preferred were Sam. The next page I chose was Matt. As my third option, I picked Chris. After that, I selected Jessica. Moving on, I decided to pick Josh. And as my last option, I chose Mike. For the person I disliked, sorry in advance, I was just choosing randomly, I picked Ashley. So nearing the end of chapter 4, Dr. Hill asks if the game is going as planned. My response to that was, it's going fine. Then after he speaks for a bit, I ask him, what do you want? Then right after he gives you a quick little jump scare and rants, I tell him, yes, I will continue. Then as my last option, I tell him, you're real, in order to spare his feelings. So that concludes my choices for Dr. Hill's sessions, with the exception of one, which is the most important out of all of them. Like I said, these choices don't really matter, but I figured I'd throw them on here anyways. And now, onward with the scenes I selected to be really important. So in order to get to that last session, which we will get to in chapter 8, I actually believe it gets unlocked based on your relationship status with Josh. Throughout the game, depending on how you speak to him with each character, your relationship status will either increase or decrease. And what we want is to increase it to get this new ending. So the first choice you'll need to make is worry. This option will show that Chris is worried for Josh, and it'll help build a strong relationship with him. After all, he has lost his two sisters, so it doesn't hurt for a friend to check up on him. Later on, as Josh and Chris are walking together, select the agree button both times in order to increase your relationship status, as you can see before ye. Moving along while playing as Sam in chapter 2, you're given two options after Josh talks about Chris and Ashley. Choose the flattering option instead of mocking for the boost. Once Josh and Sam are in the basement, look for the baseball bat and pick the serious response. Also, just for funsies, absolutely do not forget to give Josh a high five. He deserves to have his hands clapped. And finally, after hearing the mysterious noise, select heroic, just to show Josh how badass Sam is. I mean, come on, it's just a known fact. In the beginning of chapter 3, we play as Ashley, and the first choice you will have to make is serious, instead of, fooling around with that abracadabra bit that she does, as it kind of comes across as disrespectful. Next, after asking a few questions and finding out who they're speaking to with the Luigi board or Wigga board or the Ouija board, Feel free to apologize for Ashley's boost, and you should be good from there. During the end of Chapter 4, Chris is faced with one of the hardest decisions in his life, where he has to either save Ashley or Josh. Like most people, such as myself, I chose Ashley so Chris and her can be together, while Josh quote-unquote becomes a two-piece. But in order to get the relationship boost, save Josh and this will guarantee you to get his good ending. As for the handle, it can go either or, and I turned it to Ashley's side. Now this one's interesting because I believe at this point you can decide how things can pan out on whether Sam gets caught or not. So at the end of Chapter 5, when Sam gets chased by the psycho, I did not throw the vase at him so he doesn't get hurt and ran to the basement. Once you're in the basement, do not hide and continue running. Otherwise, if you hide, you will hit the psycho with the bat you found previously, which could affect your boost. After this, I forced the door open, which honestly I should have pulled to get the hidden doorknob, and after running a little more, hide, and that will help you escape the psycho, along with getting an achievement in case some of you didn't get it. At the end of Chapter 6, there's a very similar moment compared to Sam's where you can stab the psycho as Ashley with a pair of scissors. At this moment, I didn't do that to avoid decreasing my relationship status, so I can take the biggest hit of sleeping gas and take it like a champ. Later on, after Josh's psycho reveal at the end of Chapter 7, Chris and Mike take Josh to the shed while confronting him. The first choice you have to make is to scold Josh for his actions. As your second choice, pick the skeptical dialogue. And then, as your third choice, is to call Josh a coward by selecting the defensive option. And finally, disarm Mike, pointing the gun at Josh to receive another big boost. Now for the moment of truth. The Dr. Hill session I've been saving for now comes to play. The reason I saved the session with Dr. Hill for later is because this is where you will officially know if you made the right choices for Josh's ending, as many people have been struggling trying to unlock it. So the first dialogue choice you have to make is, "They hurt me." To be honest, I'm not sure what happens if you choose "I didn't hurt anyone," so perhaps try to avoid it. The second choice, however, is the most important, and depending on how you play this game, you will be presented with one of these two dialogue choices. If you made poor choices with Josh, you will be given the "they need to change" dialogue, and if you made the right choices and built a strong relationship with him, you're presented with the "I'm so sorry" dialogue. As one of your final options, it is highly suggested you choose "I'm so sorry" to begin the second chance butterfly effect. This will be one of the final choices that will guarantee you the good ending. And now for your final action. When Mike and Sam are in the mines and enter the very cold and chilling water, make sure to go to the far left, and there you'll be able to find Hannah's journal. Be sure to flip through the pages until you trigger the butterfly effect and proceed searching for Josh. After that, finish the game strong with everyone surviving, watch the credits, and you should be able to get Josh's new ending. So that is all that I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If there's anything that I missed or I found different ways to get this ending, feel free to share that down in the comments below. If you want to check out my playthrough of this game, click here or check out my channel. If you find myself enjoyable and want to see me make more videos, feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and ring that bell. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, that's about it. Take it easy.